Welcome to another MP4Nation.net video review. Today I'm going to show you the new Telepad 7C. This is basically the upgraded version of the original Telepad 7. This comes with the latest generation Telechip's A8 Cortex processor, as well as a capacitive touchscreen, Android 2.2, and it has more RAM than the original Telepad 7. This comes with 512 MB RAM. The original came with 256 MB RAM. Apart from that, the actual casing is pretty much spot on the same as original Telepad 7C. With it comes with the HDMI port, which you can connect to your TV, and you can basically output the entire user interface onto your TV. So use that in conjunction with the USB host here, with a say wireless keyboard and mouse, and you've basically got your own little Android PC on your TV. Definitely a +1 for this device, because you know, when you're not using it as a tablet, you can hook it up to your TV to get some extra use out of it, especially for video playback, which this is pretty good for. As I pointed out, it does have a USB host. It has a standard earphone slot, your micro SD slot for additional memory. It also comes packed with 4 gigs of internal memory, power charging slot, on-off button. Here you got the home and your main menu button. Here's your back button. Well, and that's pretty much it. Oh, there is a reset button on the back, which you can just, you know, press and it resets the device. You have your built-in loudspeaker here, and as you saw there is a built-in G sensor too. As I said, this does use a capacitive touchscreen. It is quite responsive. However, in the video review, if you see it kind of lagging, or like it seems like it's sticking, it's not really touch panel. It's the new touch panel grip that touchscreens come with when you're using them at first. So it's basically my finger kind of sticking or gripping to the screen. So just keep that in mind when you see this. Oh, and obviously it has built-in Wi-Fi. If you didn't figure that out already. There's not much to say about the user interface. It's standard Android 2.2 layout. No customization done at all by factory. So let's check out the menu. I'm not really going to go into too much detail about, you know, all these other apps, especially ebooks. There's more than enough power under the hood of this tablet to run any ebook software out there. Be it either Aldico or you know, Kindle or whatever. If you want an idea of how those apps look, just look it up on the internet. They'll don't have to worry. They'll work on this. It does come with Marketplace pre-installed. It does come with some other apps pre-installed by the factory. We have installed like Angry Birds here, which I'm going to show to you. I do want to show you the pointer location. Pointer location just shows you how many inputs your touchscreen can handle. Here's 2, you know, which is good because you need it for pinch and zoom. It doesn't handle 3 inputs. See, it's only doing the 2. The reason I point that out is because we do have some touch panels, capacitive touchscreen models out there that support like 5 or 10. Like the Windows N9 supports 5 finger inputs. Now you don't really have to worry that only handles 2, because almost all apps only really use two inputs. So that's a pinch and zoom, and you know, for games that you need to use 2 fingers. But it's mostly bragging rights that if your touch panel can do them more than 2 inputs. I just felt like pointing that out to you because, you know, I need to fill some time in this video review. It's getting hard to do Android tablet reviews because it's pretty much all the same. I think most people just want to know, how well does Angry Birds work? Because that's become such a standardization for how well a tablet works, as if it can run Angry Birds well or not. And you'll be all happy to know it does run Angry Birds well. Not just Angry Birds, but Angry Birds Rio, which, if you don't know, is the latest incarnation of Angry Birds. But the one thing about this game is that it is probably the most hardware intensive, or it utilizes hardware more so, especially processor hardware, more so than previous versions of Angry Birds. As you'll see, the graphics have been improved, and so is how you zoom in and stuff. Well, at least how it looks when you zoom in. Pretty much the game works flawlessly, apart from that it does crash, so it's not perfect. It crashes not while playing, but while jumping between menus. So if I pause and exit, sometimes it will crash, sometimes it won't. Well, most times it doesn't. Every now and then it does, but you don't lose any of your progress in the game. So you can zoom out, zoom in, use a pinch and zoom. Oops. Works pretty well. As far as the game's performance, very smooth, as you would expect it. So the game plays flawlessly. So we can say that the new Telechip's A8 Cortex processor does have some serious power into it that can handle even the latest games, such as Angry Birds Rio. Not really going to go into too much more detail about this because, oops, that. There we go. What else can we show you? Let's do the browser. Show you some. Pages load snappy on this. Again, tablets is kind of reaching that point. Even the generic tablets, which this is, are reaching that point where the hardware under it is more than sufficient for fast web page loading speeds. If you end up getting if you use this and your pages are loading slow, it's probably not because of the tablet. It's probably because of your Wi-Fi connection. Just want to point that out. So let's find something we can look at here. There's some really good sites that I do like to look at for testing, just because let's try Business Week, just because they're quite graphic intensive, and like Bloomberg. And I said it does have G-sensor, but it's not a 360 G-sensor, so you can't use it all the way around, so you can't go like this and it doesn't really work. Revert like this, you pinch and zoom, there you go. I mean, as far as web browsing, it's quite a pleasant experience. The multi-touch is very responsive. Scrolling is again responsive. The G-sensor is very responsive. The screen quality itself, it's an 800 by 480 resolution screen, which is pretty standard on these tablets now. It's nothing spectacular, but it's nothing substandard either. So it doesn't have the best viewing angles that, again, which is pretty much standard these days on tablets. So pretty much it has a standard 800 by 480 resolution screen. So there we go. Let's go home. What else can I show you here? Gallery. I do want to point out the gallery for one reason. If you get one of these and you're wondering why there's someone's vacation photos in here, it's not because it was used. For some reason, the standard preloaded images on this are of some very beautiful place. So anyway, just want to show you that. Go back. Let me show you videos now. This is just a standard Shakira video. So let's use it with movies. This can support 1080p video, or it's advertised to. We haven't been able to get 1080p videos to play on this. 720p videos play flawlessly, but anytime we try to load a 1080p on this, we just get an error. So I'm not convinced that it can't handle 1080p. I believe it's more to a firmware issue that it's happening, because we've seen on the older generation telepads, they can actually handle 1080p. Sometimes not very well, but they can open and run them. In the case of this, it just doesn't open altogether. Now, those 1080p files did have DTS audio tracks. I don't know if that made a difference. But as you see, videos do play flawlessly on this. You can output it onto the HDMI, which does 1080p out also. So this does make for a decent video player, but if you're really gunning for that 1080p, I can't give you a definite answer how well it works, because I just don't feel that the error we get is a result of not being able to handle 1080p, but rather something that's there in the software that's given an error. So you developers out there, get cracking and fix it, because I doubt the factory gives a crap. Anyways, this is the Telepad 7C. Overall, I consider it's a decent tablet. It is a generic tablet. You're going to have to live with the fact that there may never be any real official updates, although there might be some floating around. We can't really guarantee you it. But I do need to point that out to you. As is, it does work well. If you're really gunning for the 1080p, then I can't give you any sort of answer. But if your videos are under 1080p, like most people are when you're trying to view it on a mobile device, you're gonna enjoy it. It does work very well. The HDMI too, the way it's output on this is pretty sweet too. So I mean, that's another thumbs up for this. It's a good upgrade from the original Telepad 7, but keep in mind it is generic, and the firmware updates may never come, at least not official. So head on over to mp4nation.net to check this out, or head on over to our forums to discuss this. Thank you.